how are the Eagles not a fraud, John? That's why
because they beat these teams. They beat them. They literally just told you they beat them.
Come on, Jeff. You understand. You can
see. This is a college football mentality you have. This is it.
It's not.
Oh no! This team won. They beat them.
We got Jeff Kerr. I got to talk to my boy Jeff Kerr and see what he thinks. Maybe he'll be our voice of reason after the Eagles' brutal loss on Friday, on Black Friday. Let's bring Jeff Kerr in right now here on Birds 365. You can follow him at Jeff Kerr PHL. What's up, Jeff? How you doing on this Monday morning, my friend?
I guess the Rams season's over too. They lost yesterday.
Yeah, the Rams.
I heard they're so much better than everybody. They're so much better.
Jeff, do you believe the Eagles are in their room right now? I know they lost. I know they had a bad game. I know Stafford.
Yeah, because they beat them. Yeah, because they beat them.
In September.
The Eagles have a tiebreaker over them. So if they have finished with the same record and the Eagles win the division, the Eagles are ahead of them. Like, I'm getting tired of overreactions to every loss. As bad as they looked Friday.
Coming in hot. I like
games in the National Football League.
Jeff is coming in hot.
If they finish 12-5, are we talking about this?
Okay, Jeff, but let me just give you the other point of view. Shokapati is putting up offensive success rates for this team per play. It's the worst it's been in 20 years.
Okay, congrats.
We don't need to overreact. Like, the team's 8-4. They're probably going to go to the playoffs.
Tell me what offensive success rate is like I'm 5 years old, and then I'll go.
That's a question for Sheil. I don't know how to fucking.
Yeah, well, again, that's what I said. Numbers are numbers. I can make up numbers too. I do it all the time.
Jeff is the best at numbers.
Yeah.
So you think this team is good? I mean, what is your point in being,
I'm just saying, let's not overreact to a loss where the defense couldn't stop anybody. And I don't want to hear, the offense couldn't do anything. Yeah, the offense couldn't do anything. But I wasn't aware Saquon Barkley dropping passes, A.J. Brown not running routes right, Landon Dickerson missing blocks every week like he always does. I wasn't aware that the coaches were responsible for that.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. And that's why I say it's always players first. I've said it 4 times on this show already. Good players first, bad players first. But most fans, not all fans, but most fans, and you saw this last year, ignoring the deficiencies of the quarterback because they won the Super Bowl, want to blame everything on the coaches because they don't want to blame anything on the players. That miscommunication between Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. Was he schemed open? Was he wide open? Is that, what can you do other than drive the football to the receiver? If you were allowed, I can't get it, but the offense stinks, and from a macro standpoint,
and it does. And look, anybody that wants to say fire Kevin Patullo, I'm not disagreeing with them at all. This is always my response. This is to you, John. You like to say this, elevate the conversation. Who is the offensive play caller and coordinator?
Well, the offensive coordinator and play caller is Kevin Patullo. The offensive mastermind is Nick Sirianni. So even that is murky in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so you're gonna fire him too? Just won Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, I think where people struggle to understand this, and I'm included in that sometimes. You look at Ben Johnson, you look at Mike Vrabel. I mean, these are guys who come in and turn organizations around completely. That's good coaching, right? I mean, that's where
so did Nick.
Fans are like, how is it no coaching? And I think that's a fair point of view.
Who said it was no coaching? I mean, preparation is a big part of it. Like I always say, if you want to blame the coaching staff, start with preparation before you get to your.
This is where I'll blame Nick. I'll blame Nick Sirianni on this. I didn't like how they had walkthroughs all week. I don't think it was necessary, but that's what happens when you have a short week. And this team has shown on the short week they play their worst football games of the season. They've done it twice.
This year.
This year it's happened twice now, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the Eagles played a bad game or collapsed the Sunday before in the short week, and then they played like crap in that game in the short week. So again, I'm willing to be patient here. Let's see what they do when they got 11 days off.
Yeah, they tend to bounce back, and who knows if Trey Lance is playing? I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Eagles, but we'll see how that shakes out.
By the way, there was a no-brainer yesterday, John, for me in the NFL world. There was a no-brainer. I said, if you got money, just bet your house on it. The Seattle Seahawks against the Minnesota Vikings.
My Lord, that was a beatdown. But I don't know what you can take with that. The offense was pretty poor.
They were
for the
bad
most
yesterday.
part, Seattle.
Yeah.
But Minnesota can't do anything. And there's a good coach, supposedly. But when you have nothing at the quarterback position, you're not going to look good.
Yeah.
But nobody's got, and presumably nobody has a problem throwing Max Brosmer under the bus. People have a problem throwing star players under a bus. Like I could say, Matthew Stafford didn't play well yesterday.
Turned the ball over. Yeah, he looked terrible.
And that's it. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Did not play well.
The Panthers look like the worst team in the NFL on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, and they come back and they beat the Rams at home. So week-to-week league.
The NFL. Who's the best team in the NFC right now?
I don't know. Seattle? Maybe?
Rams.
I'm you know who's playing the best?
The Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. If the Cowboys get in, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah. Well,
they got to get in.
You know, it's interesting because of how wide open it is right now. Yeah, I don't know if they will get in or if they won't. They'd have to basically win out. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be, they dug the hole too deep. But if they beat Detroit, man, and that might be it. Detroit can ruin their season. But Detroit has looked awful. Seattle's looked very good, to Jeff's point. But I can't put too much weight on that team in that game. Like that was such a rare. That was like a homecoming college game.
Well, they got the Rams next week, right?
So that'll be interesting to see where they really are. The 49ers keep winning, but again, you know, that's what I got right in the preseason. I said they were going to have a very good record because of their schedule.
Yeah, they're 9-4, and they're the 7th seed in the NFC. If someone had told me the 49ers are 9-4 in the 7th seed at this time, I would have been like, well, I believe the 9-4 part.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders, you know, that's how credible is that win? You know,
that's the biggest win in NFL history. They beat Shedeur.
It's hard to take any of these teams and say, oh, you can't beat this team. The closest to me would be Green Bay and then Seattle, I guess, and then the Rams.
Green Bay looked pretty good on Thanksgiving.
And I don't even mention the number 1 seed.
The Chicago Bears that just beat the crap out of the Eagles.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to get matched up with Chicago.
You know what?
Jeff, give me your evaluation, man, on Jalen Hurts, just from what you've seen. There's a lot of talk about him after a game like that. Where do you fall on the aisle, and what do you think of what he's done so far? And really specifically Friday, but also big picture as well.
I mean, if you look at the last couple games, not good, right? I think that's more than fair. He just hasn't been good. Am I blaming all this on him? No. If you look at the totality of the season, I think he's doing what he can, but what he's working with right now. I mean, but
when you say that, do you mean more coaches, more players, more
everything? Like the fact that you got to deal with the bullshit he's dealing with, to me, it's kind of speaks volumes to him. And I know people have again on him about his demeanor, his reluctancy to throw the ball over the middle. I understand that. I think he needs to do that more. But until the last couple of weeks, he's been taking care of the football. He did not do that Friday. He did not do that again. Oh, wait, did he have a fumble against the Cowboys? I don't remember against the Cowboys game. But
no, he had the fumble. Somebody else.
But he had 2 giveaways on Friday. So that played a big role in the loss. You fumbled the tush push. That's on you. It's on you. And
he took accountability for that, so I give him credit.
And the interception wasn't a great throw, but I think Kevin Byard knows Jalen Hurts probably as well as anybody, even though he was only here 8 games.
That was a bad throw, though.
It was a really bad
double
throw.
Coverage. Very uncharacteristic throw.
And also, this is my issue with A.J. Brown complaining about winning the football. Well, A.J., you're getting yours, and your team's 0-2. So
yeah, but the only time they move the ball and score is when they throw the ball to A.J. Brown. They went to him, in the game last week, and they
sometimes that's a bad thing, though. And sometimes that's a bad thing.
Lot of 3 points on the board.
A lot of empty numbers.
They're empty numbers. They're empty calories.
A lot of empty numbers. A lot of empty calories on that last drive.
I agree with that, but even on the drive that they put the first
touchdown.
No,
yeah. I mean, the first touchdown.
AJ and boom.
Have you guys gotten to the 2-point debate yet that apparently just took over social media before?
Well, yeah.
I talked about it over the weekend. It's not that, as John pointed out. That's
number 79 on the list.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
You know what here's how you avoid that. And by the analytics view, they did the right thing. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You're down 15 with 3:10 left in the game.
Yeah. Did you actually think they were going to go score again after the Bears just went sticks defense on you?
It's just ridiculous that people care to that level.
You know why? Because they're not watching the damn football game. They're not. They decided to turn it on because the score changed.
Yeah.
They're not watching.
Yeah.
They're not.
And, and again, execute and get the 2-point conversion, number one.
Yeah, you got to get it at some point anyway.
Or earlier in the game, Jake Elliott make a PAT. Yeah. That's something as well. Now, design runs has become a thing now because they're down for Jalen Hurts. So here's the numbers.
Well, and there's credible reporters saying that they're down.
So I thought the play was a designed run, and it looked like it based on the blockers.
Yeah, but did you see Jeff McLean and Jimmy Kempski's?
No, they're clearly down. I'm not picking on Jeff and Jimmy.
No, I'm saying, but it's not like it's some guy on a podcast saying it. They're reporters.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying again the meaningful aspect of it. So in 2023 it was 3.5, in 2024 it was 3.7 per game. This year it's probably whatever 19 divided by 12 is. So
1.6.
So it's down maybe 2.
It's not in the threes.
So it's down about two carries a game. All right. There's a lot more problems than that.
I brought up the scenario too. Okay, for you kick the extra point people. We sure Jake's gonna make it? He missed one earlier.
Yeah.
From what I was told, the wind was
the wind
bad.
Was bad. The wind was bad.
Well, we might have a kicker problem because the other dude, the Bears guy, was kicking him. No problem. Cairo Santos.
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, genius by Ben Johnson to win the coin toss and take the football.
Yeah, well, that's.
Oh yeah, well, he's a good coach, and
genius.
You know what else makes you a good coach? Just keep pounding the football down with DeAndre Swift, and I can never pronounce the kid's last name from Rutgers.
Yeah, Kalmanungai. Yeah,
Kalmanungai. Can you now pronounce, Jeff? By the way, can you pronounce Marcus Mariota? Did you hear him?
Yeah, I've heard it a couple times last night when I came back from that double overtime.
What was going on?
Drek.
What was going on with that? When did that happen? I completely missed it. But evidently,
it was pretty funny. That was a great game last night. I'm glad the one NFL game I really paid attention to yesterday was a great one.
Well, it was entertaining. I'll give it that. It goes to overtime, close game, so you can't put that.
Do the Broncos suck too because they trailed in the fourth quarter in all 9 of their wins?
They suck. Yes, they do suck. Is this the 2 worst number 1 seeds this late in the season in NFL history? Chicago and Denver.
Well, the Patriots, I guess, would be back to number 1 if they win tonight, right?
Yeah. But right now it's Denver. Chicago and Denver.
Is it just me, or was I just not impressed with the Bears? I was more disappointed.
No, I'm not impressed at all. I did get a kick. I heard someone say, that's a championship offensive coordinator. I love Ben Johnson. This is where I chuckle.
Ben Johnson's a good coach. I'm not going to.
He's a very good coach. Very good offensive mind. Very good play.
Knows his personnel.
Yeah. Very good. I missed the championship. I don't know. Did I miss the championship?
I guess you did. I don't know. I don't think it's rocket science to just keep giving DeAndre Swift and Kalmanungai the football.
Well, he does have a bit of flair for him that even he can make the power running game look a little bit more creative than it is, which is basically outside zone.
You know the MVPs. You know the MVPs of the Bears are Drew Dahlman,
Darnell Wright.
Yeah, Darnell Wright, Joe Tooney, those guys. The Bears did the right thing this offseason, fix that offensive line.
Outside zone cave in the left side of the Eagles front is not creative. Although sometimes it looks creative.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
How much blame does Vic Fangio and this defense get in all this?
Can't. That's why I can't believe more people aren't talking about it.
They give up a lot of yards. They don't get sacks. The personnel isn't as good as, and we know that. The personnel not as good as it was. Also, I love Sidney Brown to death. Man, you got to give a better read on that one play that should have been a touchdown.
Oh my God. That was so underthrown. That was the easiest touchdown ever.
It was a layup.
Yeah. Unless you're a Sixer, but that's the easiest thing ever.
Can I, since you brought in Sixer moments today.
Oh God, I hate that team.
Tyrese Maxey, who fans chant MVP, 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 can't make a 3-throw to seal a game. One. He had one.
Yeah, you can't
be blaming Tyrese Maxey though, can you?
No,
yes, you can. When the game's on the line, you can. When the win is there, you can. Yes,
that's true. He had 40 something in the game.
Well, yeah, he had a tremendous game.
Yeah, he's having a tremendous year, but you can't be MVP for a 500 basketball team. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And the Sixers have so many problems. Joel Embiid is.
They're not ready to compete yet. I'm with you. I'm just trying to enjoy the development of the young guys right now.
Well, now that's even deterred because the Sixers do what they do and they ruin everything.
Yeah, they do.
And instead of getting Edgecombe involved, now he's like an outlier. They don't even look at him. They don't even involve him in the offense.
He wasn't even playing in the second overtime.
I don't give a shit about Paul George and Joel Embiid and even Quentin Grimes. I don't give a shit. You should be trying to develop that kid.
I agree.
Yeah, they drive me crazy.
They do. They drove me crazy both overtimes last night. I'm like, wow, Tyrese Maxey just had this amazing game. And as a basketball coach, I'm thinking, dude, you're an 84% 3-throw shooter. You can't make one. You miss both when you're up 2 with 4 seconds left. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's brutal.
After that game, and he owned up to it. That's why I love Tyrese Maxey. He owned up to it. So you got to make them. But at second overtime, and they put those guys on the floor, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm done. Back to the other disappointing team.
Yeah.
I think it's going to lighten up. I think the skies are clearing, Jeff Kerr. I think
for the Eagles,
a wounded Chargers team followed by the Las Vegas Raiders,
who are
a bad football team with the exception of Brock Bowers.
What about Max Crosby?
Max Crosby.
I don't know. You guys, John, you were optimistic coming into the Bears game too, dude.
Well, I don't believe in the Bears.
The Bears are a much better team than the Raiders.
I still don't believe in the Bears. I don't know who the Bears. I think the Bears are playing the Packers.
I know, but my point isn't about the Bears. My point is that we thought the Eagles were going to handle business in that game too. Now we think they're going to handle versus the Chargers.
Well, I mean, which is why. So if you play your typical uneven offensive performance and give up 130 yards rushing instead of 281, you'll win the football game. That's why I'm so hyper focused on the defense.
I agree. This is one thing I'm really getting tired of hearing. 2023. Do you want to believe in 2023? Go back to 2023. I'd love to go back to 2023. As a person, I'd love that. But
Jeff, but you're all right. I appreciate your perspective of the sky's not always falling on every loss. Do you really watch the Eagles right now and think, oh, yeah, this team has got a chance? I mean, I watch the Eagles right now, and I'm like, this is an objectively horrible football team. They fucking stink. That's what I say to myself.
Well, they all stink. Every team stinks.
Yeah, who's better? Who's better? That is
an acceptable comeback.
I'm looking at the other teams. That's who I'm looking at.
I mean, look at the Kansas City. Would you like to be in their position right now? I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I mean, Baltimore and Pittsburgh are battling for the AFC North by losing every week and trying to let Joe Burrow back into it.
They both got destroyed this week, and they're playing for first place next week.
The Colts are hitting the tank because they're playing a quarterback with a broken leg. The Jags are on top of that division, I believe.
And the Texans are coming.
The Texans are in,
They're winning with Davis Mills, by the way. That's how good their defense is.
The Dolphins.
Stroud was back yesterday. Wasn't Stroud back?
He was back. Yeah,
He did come back, but they were winning with Davis Mills.
They were 3-0 with him. Yeah, they were 3-0.
Yeah, but Stroud did come back yesterday.
Stroud did come back. Okay.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers stink on ice. I mean,
are the Panthers in first yet, or are the Bucks?
The Seahawks,
right?
The Seahawks are the one team where you say, all right, well, they dominated, but how credible is that domination against Max?
They played a guy somehow that was worse, JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, which is astonishing, by the way. I would have bet that the house that he would have played better than JJ McCarthy, and he played worse, which is pretty amazing. So you got to give him credit for that.
Commanders can't win a football game to save their life, no matter how well they
play. Can't win a game. The Dolphins might make the playoffs.
They're not out of it. Like, so Joe Shav from the Palm Beach Post wrote like a Dolphins like playoff scenario and got roasted for it. I'm like, look, as long as they're in it, you should write it.
Yeah.
And it was a great piece. I read it. I'm like, this is actually kind of hilarious, but he's not wrong. There is a way.
The Dallas Cowboys are playing the best football.
Yeah, they are. Oh, and they're dangerous too, as we seen last week.
Now, big game. They got to go to Ford Field on Thursday night, I believe. I think that's the Thursday game.
That is the Thursday game because they always have that Thursday game after.
And they have no margin for error. So they slip up 1 week, they're cooked.
No matter what Tony Romo tells you, they have no margin for error.
Yeah, so you can't be fearful of them, but they're playing well. Boy, there's nobody you say the Eagles can't beat. I'm just saying. I agree.
They can't lose to though, John.
Well, I agree with that too, but I'm just saying now you're like everybody else. So before it was like you're dominant, and now you're like everybody else. But I'm saying all hope is not lost because all these other teams are capable of laying eggs, just like you laid an egg.
And we saw it on Sunday. I didn't think the Rams were going to lay an egg.
Every time I told Zander to start the show, every time the Eagles don't play, only good things happen to them because everybody else stinks.
Then you feel a little bit better about your football team when you watch other football teams.
It's unbelievable. Every time they don't play, good things happen. Because nobody else can seize this thing.
Yeah, I'd love to have the answers why the offensive line all of a sudden can't block. Saquon is not Saquon anymore. Receivers can't get open. The defense can't stop anybody. But I don't. So I got to roll with what I got.
The Eagles are 8-4. The Bears at 9-3, top of the NFC. Rams 9-3. Bucks 7-5. Seahawks 9-3. Packers 8-3, and Niners 9-4. Those right now are your 7 NFC playoff teams. I mean this 100% legitimately. I think the Eagles might be the biggest frauds of that group right now, based on what I've seen. All of those.
You're going off the last 2 weeks, or are you going off the whole season?
I'm going off of the season. I'm going off of what we've seen develop, how it's evolved. The Bucks are probably – I could probably put the Bucks a little higher than the Eagles in terms of fraud alert.
I don't know if the Bucks are going to win that
a better
division.
team. Bears, I think, are a better team. They just beat the shit out of us. Rams are a better team. Seahawks are a better team. Even the 49ers, without Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, I mean, they're peying. They're a better team.
They're a fraud. They're a fraud.
They play an easy schedule.
How are the Eagles not a fraud, John? That's why
because they beat these teams. They beat them. They literally just told you they beat them.
Come on, Jeff. You understand. You can
see, this is a college football mentality you have. This is it.
It's not
No. This team won. They beat them. They beat them.
That's college football mentality. If you beat them once, then they're out. I mean, no. Just because we beat the Rams
except now their names ahead of Miami in the college football.
Jeff, beating the Rams in September does not mean you're a better team than the Rams.
Yes, it does, because that's when you played them on the schedule. You beat them.
Jeff, no,
you beat that team, Zander. You beat them.
Beating a team in September makes you better than them for the whole year. Really, Jeff?
Yes.
Is that the thought process?
Yes. If you're looking at the body of work, you're calling
that's
the team
the dumbest thought
the
process
Eagles
ever.
Just beat them. They just beat them, Zander. The Rams did not beat the Eagles.
I agree.
The Packers did not beat the Eagles.
Okay, so the Bears are a lot better than the Eagles then, right?
They beat them.
I'm going to lean Team Zander here. Yeah, I mean, there's I think the Rams outplayed the Eagles, and the Eagles got lucky. They blocked a field goal up a crappy kicker. But
They
and
beat
the,
'em,
and the
though.
Rams have since made a change. Now the Rams losing to the Panthers, don't. The Eagles also beat the Packers. Right now, I think the Packers are better than the Eagles. The Bears
right
beat the
now, I would
Eagles.
agree.
Right now, I think if they played again, I'd pick the Eagles again. Maybe I'd lose, but I'd pick the Eagles again. I don't believe in the Bears. I think the Packers are a good team. I think the Rams are a good team. I think the Seahawks are a good team. I don't know. I think the 49ers and the Buccaneers are frauds. I don't even think the 49ers are playing their best quarterback.
I think the Rams are a good team, but do I trust this head coach in the playoffs, even though he has won a Super Bowl? Should have beat the Eagles last year. Didn't. Should have beat him this year. Didn't. He just doesn't beat them.
Yeah, but that's football.
Head to head.
There's a lot of close games.
I'm going with what I got head to head. And what I got head to head is the Eagles beat them.
I know, but check.
No matter how they did it, I don't care. I hate that. I just hate that. Well, if the Rams get the kick up, well, they ain't get the kick up. If my aunt had balls,
that's not what I said. I said beating them in September doesn't mean you're a better team than them now.
Well, that's when they played them. That's when they played them.
Okay, and my point is,
and they might have to play again, and
and the Rams might beat them.
But I mean, part of my belief in the Eagles is demonstrated performance. Is they've been through it before. Is they know how to sort of handle adversity, maybe better than some of these other teams. And maybe it's off base. But, they not only beat him in September, they always beat Sean McVay, or they have in the Nick Sirianni era. So I do think they're partially in their heads, but I think the Rams are a better football team. The Rams have to get over that hump. Yeah. And I think they're a better football team right now. We'll see if they can get over the hump or they're even matched up. Right now, there's 3 teams I think that are better than the Eagles and the NFC. The Rams, the Packers, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're asking me right now, Dallas is better than the Eagles right now, but they're 6-1.
Yeah, but they dug too much of a hole.
Yeah.
All right. So Jeff, I'm not trying to fight with you, Jeff. I love you, but
I know.
How are you subscribing to that philosophy with the Cowboys and you don't understand what I'm saying about the Rams?
Because I'm tired of hearing how great the Rams are when they just lost to the Panthers. Okay, any team can lose on any given week. Are the Panthers better than the Rams right now? Right now, yeah. If we're going by that logic, they just beat them.
It's kind of the point. I mean, the Eagles are might have beat the Rams, but they're not a better team.
But the Rams never beat.
They're certainly not playing better than the Rams right now.
Matthew Stafford can't beat the Eagles. It's kind of funny. You can't beat them.
Some people, I don't know what to think of the Seahawks. Because, like I said, they might be better than the Eagles.
I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Rams this week. I think I'm picking Seattle to beat the Rams.
That's in Seattle. They should win, right?
Yeah, they should win.
Boy, if the Rams lose 2 in a row, ooh.
Oh man, so Sean McVay's a terrible coach. Should be fired.
Oof. Yeah, there's nobody that you should be fearful of, but that includes the Eagles. If you're the Rams, if you're the Seahawks, if you're the Packers, if you're the Cowboys, you shouldn't be fearful of the Eagles either.
Here's my guess. I have no idea who's going to win the NFC West, even if Seattle beats the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, boy, San Francisco's schedule is so easy. If they sneak out one of the, that was my bold prediction before the season, that they would make the playoffs and be a threat.
So this is the 49ers barn burning schedule coming up. The Titans, the Colts. Oh, the Bears. They got the Bears on
well, yeah, Saturday night. Looks tougher. That's what that looks tougher. But I where's that game?
That game is at home.
So San Francisco, Chicago's got to go to San Francisco.
Yeah, and then they play.
I'm picking the 49ers in that game.
They have one road game, and that's the Colts. And that's a Sunday night game.
With a broken fibula, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
They might even win that game.
I mean, there's a really good chance 49ers could have.
And I don't even think they're playing their best quarterback. One of these shitty quarterback teams should be negotiating with Mac Jones and breaking every rule. And
they probably will.
And just sign him to a 2-year deal.
Probably will. Someone's going to sign Mac Jones this offseason.
The Vikings might. They're in hell there with their quarterback set up.
Yeah, that could be their way out. 49ers end with the Seahawks, by the way.
I'm just confused on if we take away, let's just act like 24 didn't exist, which we can't do, but just for the sake
I know, but I know where you're going here. Yeah,
25 Eagles. What makes them a top team in the NFL? What about them? the defense, the offense, the running game? Like, what do they do well where you're like, oh, yeah, they're a better football team than that team? I get your point. The Rams lost to the Panthers. They had 3 turnovers. They're not perfect either. But I watch that offense. I'm like, they play offense well. You know,
They do.
I watch that pass rush. They rush the passer well. They do things well. I don't know what the Eagles do well, dude. I'm not even trying. I'm being honest. I don't see what the Eagles do well week in and week out.
I'll tell you what they do well. They, until last week, they could tackle. It's
well, until last week. I mean, that's not a very good answer, and I think you understand that. They don't.
Well, I do think that was an outlier. Like they're not going to give up.
Answer them, like, what does the team do well? They don't have any identity on any side of the ball. They don't. There's no consistency. There's no. We don't know what to expect from this team on either side of the ball any week.
This is my
Kyle Monungai for 130 as John.
This is my issue with the Eagles fan base as a whole. You are not. It is very hard to win the Super Bowl. It is very hard.
Oh, no one's saying that's. Yeah, I agree.
But we have Super Bowl expectations. I understand that. You also have Super Bowl expectations when your team's freaking 4-12. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was always going to be hard to repeat. I didn't think this team was even near good enough to repeat. To add to your point, Zander. I think this is I think this is the product of what happens when you don't address the pass rush this offseason. You lose guys in the secondary. You're not as deep at a lot of positions as you will be. And, you know, let's beat the dead horse here. Ken Patullo is no Kellen Moore.
Boy, I
appreciate your answer, but you didn't answer my question, Jeff.
I think Kellen Moore stunk last year.
What do the Eagles do well? Well, again, until the outlier last week, they tackle well, they turn the football over, and they let other teams beat themselves. Now they're beating themselves.
For what it's worth, by the way, this is how bad the Eagles' performance was against the Bears. Now they've been updated it because the games, it's still Monday morning, but the Eagles went into the Bears game as the 6th highest ranked team in the NFL, number 6 by PFF. They're now number 9, which is a pretty precipitous fall this late in the season with such a large sample size. That's how badly they performed against the Chicago Bears. But yeah, nobody's saying they're the best team. I gave you the 3 teams I think in the NFC that are better right now, at least, and it might be 4. But at the same time, those teams have their own flaws. So going to have to grind it out, which they didn't have to do last year, but they could grind it out. I'm saying all hope isn't lost. I got to be the.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm not saying all hope is lost, but I'm just saying from the body of work that we've gotten this whole year, and then especially the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's concern here in Eagle Land, and I understand where the concern. And I don't think it's all sky is falling type fans. I get what you're saying. There are those people that exist. I don't think we're that type of show. We never have been. And I think this team is just simply not that good. Now, the league is not that good, as we've all talked about.
But also, we say the Rams are the best team. They allow Bryce Young to just basically torture through the air, just like they let Jalen Hurts, the guy who a lot of people think can't play quarterback, torture him through the air. So that team is.
Do you think the quarterback's play right now is an issue at all, Jeff?
I agree. No, I think it is. The way he's playing right now, yes.
I'm just happy people are recognizing that.
All right,
do we get credit to point that out earlier? Do I get credit for that?
Like I even said it when I was watching the game live on Friday. I'm like, so we gonna blame the offensive coordinator because the quarterback just can't make a simple throw?
Yeah, it's his fault.
All right, here's a question, and we're gonna do this by process of elimination. I need both of you on the record here with your answers. I'll ask each one of you, and you can give me your answer. I'm gonna start with one of 2 answers can be your answer. And then we're going to weed it down to another question. Who is a bigger problem on offense in 2025? Jalen Hurts or Kevin Patullo?
Go ahead, John.
Jalen Hurts. Kevin
Now go-
Patullo doesn't have the power to impact the Eagles offense to ruin it to the degree. Yeah, by far, Jalen.
Okay,
Hurts.
so John says Jalen Hurts. Jeff, what do you say?
I'll go Jalen Hurts. I'll say, look,
well, you ripped Kevin Patullo a second ago.
I always rip Kevin Patullo. That's
and by the way, I would go.
Think Hurts is the bigger problem, or you think Patullo's the bigger? You think Hurts?
I think Jalen's a bigger problem because he's the one who has to execute these plays.
I would go Jalen number one because of that reason. He's the one on the field. I would go Nick Sirianni before Kevin Patullo.
Wait, then I'd go next question, John. Let me get my next question.
All
right, so let's rule out Patullo then. Hurts wins exercise 1. Now, Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni?
Still Jalen, but Sirianni's above Patullo.
Okay, so it's Hurts, Sirianni, and Patullo in John's eyes. That's it in my eyes too.
I'm in agreement with all you guys. Like, look, I've been trying to tell people, you want that Kevin Patullo firing breaking news tweet badly. That ain't changing a lot.
I love that nobody. It's like Afghanistan. Nobody has an exit plan. Where are you going?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, no,
when you fire KP, where are you going? Now you have the weirdos who think, well, you can bring in Brian Daboll or bring in from somebody from outside.
Frank Reich, that's always the name, right?
Yeah, even though he's coaching Stanford. Bring in Frank Reich, the head coach of Stanford. He's done now. No, he is done. But
so you guys would have loved it Saturday. I'm at the Penn State game, right? I'm sitting in the first row. I have field access for the
big
game.
Rutgers Penn State game.
Oh yeah, and like Big Dom's there, right? And someone goes, "Oh, he's looking for." Yeah, they're like, "Oh, he's looking for the Eagles' next offensive coordinator," and I said.
He ain't finding it there.
Yeah, you're not finding it here. Colin Hickey's about to get fired, and he's terrible. So
maybe he can bring in James Franklin. You know, he took
I don't want him here.
He took the what did he take? The Virginia Tech job?
Virginia Tech job.
You can bow out of that. Get out of there. Maybe he can. Maybe Lane Kiffin will change his mind again and come to the Eagles. You don't bring it. By the way, is there a bigger scumbag on earth than Lane Kiffin?
I'm shocked it took us this long to get to it with us college football.
There is. I think there is. Yes, bigger scumbags on earth than Lane Kiffin. Yes,
I'm joking. I'm sure there are people.
Zander, I want to hear your thoughts about that. You're an SEC guy.
I think this can of worms is opened by a lot bigger people than Lane Kiffin. I mean, it sucks that this happens.
There is literally no more unlikable person in football coaching than Brian Kelly. There is one, and they found him. Somehow they managed to find him.
LSU is an amazing school.
I don't know. I don't know that that's true, dude. I think Lane Kiffin is much. He's a goofy dude, but he's definitely more respected.
I was about ready to just.
I'm not talking about as a coach. I'm talking about as the way he handles his business.
Well, this is my question with this, because I don't like the way it went down either. But what do you want Lane to do? Like if either of you got offered, a job with a 50% pay raise, you'd be like, dude, like that.
I take the job, but
more resources, a bigger program.
That's a college.
That makes sense. That's what I mean. It's just calendar. Yes. So they have to get him in because the transfer portal's opening. They can't, and obviously Ole Miss doesn't want to let him coach because he's going to poach players and coaches. I get that. I don't know who what do you do?
This is my
how is Lane an asshole? He's obviously going to take the job at a better school.
This is why he's an asshole. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too. No, you either take the LSU job and move on, or you stay at Ole Miss and say F you LSU. But I agree. I would have taken the LSU job too.
What he wanted to do, was stay and coach Ole Miss through the college football playoff. And recruit the kids as he was doing it to go to LSU.
Yeah, which I get.
Like a double agent.
So from that standpoint, look, you're right. It's a college football problem. The way they do things, they should just change the calendar around.
But they won't because the coaches created that calendar.
And then, you preach certain things. All right, we I'm a very cynical person. I think everybody's a fraud to begin with. So. You don't
have to prove to John you're not a fraud to get.
Exactly. You all these football coaches, they preach something, and then I'm with you. You're making that much money, you got to take it. But he wants to take all the staff. He wants to stay through the playoff. He wants to recruit his players to LSU. wants to coach them in the playoffs and then wants to leave them, as a burnt out house. And, there is some loyalty to the effect of what they did for your resume, and the fact that I'm not saying he's not a big part of it, but it's just an ugly, seedy, and that's college as a whole.
Yeah, it is.
But he comes and his statement was, after thoughtful prayer. Shut up, dude. Yeah,
I'm
not even bringing up his personal life. I'm not touching that. But you can look it up if you want.
Oh yeah,
if you want. Guy's a scumbag.
Yeah, I know he is. No, I know. I don't disagree with that. I just think it's a tough thing. Like, college football is like, this setup is ridiculous.
Xander, I was actually laughing about this whole thing. I'm like, what if Alabama loses Saturday? And then Lane goes, you know what? Forget LSU. I'm going to Bama because they're going to get rid of DeBoer. I saw
some Penn State people saying Kalen DeBoer's going to Penn State. I'm like,
I can personally tell you firsthand that was never a thing. So
yeah, nobody's going to Penn State. The Penn State people, come on. It's like,
well, remember though,
children of the corn out there.
Remember, was Kalen DeBoer an ass, a douchebag too? Didn't he leave Washington after they made the title?
Probably was. I don't know of the, I don't know of any reputation. And
he doesn't have the reputational stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lane is Lane.
Lane is a child at heart. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And also, real quick, from a college football, all the bullshit aside, I think Lane's a great coach and is going to be successful. I don't think LSU is a great fit for him. I thought Florida was a much better fit. I thought Florida was a much better fit.
Be careful what you wish for. I remember when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame because he's like, there's certain restrictions at Notre Dame because it's still a, big time college, and you have to jump through some of the hoops educationally, academically, big time college. You have to jump through some hoops. You don't have to jump through in other places. And the perception was, well, he had such success at Notre Dame that he would go to LSU where you don't have those restrictions. You got more money and yada, yada, yada.
John, more than anything. It's money
example.
And he's worse. Meanwhile, Marcus Freeman is knocking it out of the park there to the point where
Penn State loves Marcus Freeman, by the way.
I love
him. Everybody does. Everybody does. He might go to the NFL.
Should.
But
I cover Marcus Freeman. He was at Ohio State.
I'm a big Marcus Freeman fan. I like him a lot.
And they might make the playoff. I guess they might not. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not.
It's gonna be tough, especially if Duke wins the ACC. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, I don't know if they can fit them in. But I know they're one of the best 12 teams in the country. But that's not how it works.
I know this is a completely different scenario because it's an upgrade. But John Summerall's leaving the playoff team to go to Florida right now.
Yeah. And that's a good
not
fit.
that backlash.
And so is Dave Caldwell. We didn't bring up Dave Caldwell. He's defecting the Eagles.
Yeah.
Howie got him that job, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's the Florida connection.
Yeah.
That's right. Howie's a Gator guy. Caldwell's
Howie's a Gator.
Gators.
Dave Caldwell's a Florida guy at heart, too. He lives
there. He still lives there. Yeah.
Yeah. He was born to be an exec in Florida.
Well, he's been in the NFL for 30 years, so I don't know how he's going to fit in. But
Xander, that's your LSU point, though, right? Nick Saban had his fill of LSU, and he wasn't there that long. They're different down there.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good.
Oh, yeah, they are. They are going to be good.
They're not going to be good.
Oh, Lane's a good coach. I'm not criticizing him as a coach.
It's just all the stuff that came with. Like you honestly thought, people honestly thought this guy changed. And I'm like,
no, come on.
What
well,
is it? What's the
old
saying?
Lane was at Alabama. I think when I was at Alabama, if I'm not mistaken.
He was. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, I know he was there. I'm just trying to remember if he was there when I was there.
I just saw somebody defending Lane, and it happened to be a very attractive young lady who claimed she got her first big interview with Lane Kiffin. And I'm like, shocking. Shocking that Lane gave you the inside tour of the office. But I digress.
Yeah. Hey, you know what they say, John? If it barks like a dog,
wags
its tail like a dog, it probably has fleas like a dog.
Shocking. That's
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, I got to run here. Let me get your final thoughts, man, on this Eagles team. You're way more optimistic than I am, and I don't think I'm a doom and gloom.
You have a right to be pessimistic, by the way. I'm not getting on you for that.
Jeff, this team ain't that good, man.
I don't think any team's that good.
I agree with that point, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Eagles. The Eagles are not that good. Your response and your final thought here.
All right, Zander, I'll bring it back to you. What do you think their record over the final 5 games will be?
2-3.
You're going 2-3?
Ooh.
I'm going 3-2.
All right, I'm good with that.
I think 3-2, that gets them the division anyway, right?
3-2. I don't think they lose out. I don't think they win out.
I'm going 3-2 because I picked 11 games before the season.
That's a good way to go.
If they go,
I went 12.
If they go 2-3, would playoffs be in danger?
Yes, because of the way the conference. But again, it all depends on what Dallas does.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't even think they'd be in danger. I don't think that is, and I'm pretty high on Dallas right now, but I don't think they have the consistency to run the table.
I'll tell you what, Zander, if they lose to the Raiders, I'm going to be right with you on this train, by the way.
No, I don't have the Raiders.
Drag me.
I got a Raiders as a win. If we lose to the Raiders,
okay. So what are the losses?
The losses.
I'm picking Bills and Commanders.
Chargers, Bills, and 1 Commanders game.
Yeah, I'm picking Bills and Commanders. I think they're the 2 losses. Yeah. I don't know which Commanders game, but I'm going to pick one.
And by the way, if Herbert doesn't play, then I'm going 3-2. But I'm expecting Herbert to play because it's not his throwing hand. He'll just toss the pass on and be out there. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that makes it tougher, but the Chargers are in deep shit anyway, just because
I'm going to go with your point here, Zander. I did not think 2 years ago the Eagles were going to lose to Drew Lock on Monday Night Football. They had 10-0 lead.
You saw how the Commanders played last night. They're okay. They're playing.
No, they're not good, but they don't suck.
Well, I think we're going to split. We split with the Giants and we split with the Cowboys. I think we're going to split with the Commanders too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a bigger issue here. The Eagles are 2-2 in the division. That division's not good, by the way.
Fans should root for the Detroit Lions on Thursday night.
I think they're going to anyway.
Because week 15, the Cowboys have the Vikings at home.
Yeah, they'll beat them.
That you think? They have the Chargers at home. Again, that's they play so well at home to begin with. Then they finish up with the Commanders and the Giants.
Cowboys. If the Cowboys beat the Lions next week, they could win out.
They could run the table.
It depends how good they play, though, because they could collapse too at any second.
No, they're not. They're not very consistent, or they haven't been. They've been consistent recently.
And you know what, Zander? If the Eagles do blow the NFC East, we're gonna look back at that Week 12 game and just be like, "You had 21-0 lead."
Well, that would be the ultimate problem. There's been no repeat winner in 20 years.
I know, and trust me, I said a month ago, I'm pretty confident the NFC East is going to get one. I'm not as confident. I'm still pretty confident, but not as confident.
I still feel like they're going to get it. Yeah, I still feel like they're going to get it, but holy crap. All right, Jeff, good stuff, man. Appreciate you doing it. Jeff, I appreciate your optimism.
It's always fun, Zander. I love coming
quite subscribe to it fully, but I do appreciate it here on the show.
By the way, somebody put up a fire Kevin Patullo sort of traffic, one of those traffic things on Patterson Avenue by Lincoln Financial Field.
That's not going to change the Eagles' mind.
I'd love to get some truth serum into Jeffrey Lurie and see what he thinks of the big problems on offense.
This is what I think of the fans that stand outside that building, by the way.
You know,
when I come out of there with my big ass car, they think I'm a player. That's what I think. So there you go.
When the Eagles do poorly, Jeffrey just goes yacht shopping to take his mind.
Yeah, right. Jeff, what kind of big ass car are you pushing?
Oh, I got a nice little Honda Pilot there.
I was looking forward to our Washington trip, but now you're not going.
Yeah, John was really looking forward to that.
All right, guys. Good, Jeff. Good stuff, man. We'll talk to you next week. All right, brother.
I'm the only one who knows where to park in that whole thing. Or is that Baltimore?
No, that's Baltimore.
Yeah.
I know where to park in Washington, but wanted to see the new Honda. What is it, Pilot?
Honda
Yeah, they're
Pilot,
bringing
yeah,
looking
with all the trimmings.
Not a Honda guy, but I appreciate it. All right, Jeff. Good stuff, brother. Later.
Yeah. See you guys.